I'm Kendra. I'm 39. I am a mom of two. I'm a licensed phlebotomist in California, and I also do, I'm a COVID swabber, so I get to stick swabs up people's noses.
That's probably been pretty exciting over the past, couple of years.
It's been interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. What kind of, I've had to do that a few times, and I'm sure it's different for each place in each state and everything like that. But like, what kind of like training or anything do you get for that kind of thing?
Honestly, because I was a licensed medical professional, they were like, here you go. And I watched like a 90-minute Zoom meeting on what to do. And they were like, have at it. But you have to have a medical license to do it. Yeah.
That makes me feel better. So
yeah, not anybody can do it.
It's interesting the different, especially at the beginning, people are so afraid to get swabbed.
Well, they used to like get your brain in the beginning, and now it's just your nostrils. So it's a lot less invasive, I guess is the word.
Yeah. Regardless of what your stand is on any of it, it's just interesting to see what we can do when we really focus our attention on solving something, or just put our resources on something. It'd be interesting to see what we could do with health in general if we could really crank down and effort into the actual health side of our country.
Right. Not just take this prescription, do natural. I'm into the more natural stuff before I take any of that. It's how I got into working out. Well, not entirely, but it's a big reason why I work out so much. I have really bad anxiety, and working out just helps me get a grip on it. And I don't want to take all those meds and everything. So I kind of just self-medicate with the gym.
Yeah. It's one of those rare things of being healthy, boosting your health that does offer almost only positives to it.
I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I get to work out today. I'm so excited. What am I going to work out? I'll be sitting at work thinking about my workout because I just love it so much and I just want to do it. I'm like, come on, clock, let's go.
Yeah.
And if you follow my Instagram on my lunch break, sometimes I'll just film workouts in my scrubs on my lunch break because I just want to do it.
So tell us a little bit about, you kind of mentioned it there, but how you actually got into the world of fitness.
So I grew up, my dad always worked out. He had a weight set, a bench, and like a chest press thing and a leg thing. And he just worked out every other day. He was always lifting weights. So it was always kind of normal to me. I never thought it was weird. And then I played sports on and off. And in my 20s, I joined the gym and I just fell madly in love with the atmosphere, with the effects of it, with how good it made me feel. And I was just hooked from then on.
So did you have any of those kind of things that women sometimes think of whenever they think of weights, or just because you've been around it for so long, once you got into it, it was kind of just normal for you?
I think it was just normal because I just saw my dad do it every day. So I never had any of that. It was just go work out, be healthy, be strong. I wanted to be strong.
Does it feel like that's almost how you are today because of your dad, as a parent, having, healthy routines, healthy habits? Do you feel like that was a big influence in your life?
I think it was a huge influence in my life. I'm not really close with my dad. We don't have the best relationship, but I always say that's the one great gift he gave me, is watching him do that and seeing how good it is for you and how healthy it is for you.
Maybe we're moving more away of this sentiment now, but like when I was a kid, when you were a kid, being outside, being active was just like the default, it was
right.
That was just what we did. It was go outside, play. And now it's more like technology and stuff like that, which, I think we can work technology into a healthier lifestyle if we want to. But once we get, past high school for a lot of people, maybe past college for some people, there's almost a weird thing around being a healthy adult, being a fit adult, going to the gym as an adult, around other adults, the mass population. How do you respond to that? Is there any weirdness, to that, or any, feelings of like, I'm a little bit, not of an outcast, but I stand out a little bit because I am this healthier adult?
Oh, definitely. I almost feel like sometimes they put it down like, why do you work out so much? Like it's a negative thing. And I'm like, well, why is being dedicated or disciplined or consistent a bad thing? Like you consistently sit on the couch and watch TV and that's looked at as normal, but I want to go lift weights for 2 hours in my gym and I'm weird. Or I spend Sunday meal prepping so that I have healthy meals to eat all week. And you look at me like I'm crazy. But then some people are super supportive. But I think the people that don't understand it put a negative spin on it simply because they don't know. And I just try to be like, well, I think it's a good thing. I try to be kind and teach them.
I think a lot of times there's this thing where it's like, okay, I have a kid or I have multiple kids. Now I want to focus on them more. And if I do focus on myself, maybe I feel like I'm being selfish. Does that ever has that ever crossed your mind of like, I don't want that feeling?
Oh, the mom guilt is real. It's a real thing. I feel it all the time, but I incorporate them in it. I'm lucky enough to where I do have a garage gym and I live on a court. So when I'm working out, my kids are riding their bikes, they're riding scooters. In between sets, I'm doing cartwheels in the streets with them. We're playing, we're talking, or I have a couch in my garage too, and they'll sit on there and do their homework while I'm working out. So we're still talking, we're still interacting. And on meal prep days, I bring them in the kitchen. I'm like, this is how you cut a vegetable. This is how we turn on the stove. Like I use that as an opportunity to teach them to cook. So I don't feel that I'm taking time away from them. I put it as a knowledge thing. How many kids are learning to cook nowadays?
Yeah.
Like not a lot. And I want to make sure that my daughters are going to be able to cook themselves a meal when they're older. And they're going to know that going outside and getting active is good for you. They're going to look at that as normal.
And I think it's such a cool way to look at it too, educate your kids along the way. I think it does make the next generation feel more connected, to just simply being a human and like the small things about life, instead of going out to eat every night, going to get fast food or whatever. It's like, okay, let's have a home cooked meal, or let's, sit around the table and talk about, just human things instead of, sitting on our devices and, not actually interacting with people
with each other.
Next to you. Yeah.
Right. Culture and society has definitely gone technological and left nature behind. And I love being out in nature. So we go hiking, we ride our bikes, we have beach days or snow days. And I even say like, okay, we're on school break. You're not getting on your screens today. We're going to go outside. We're going to get fresh air. Like there's life to live other than in your little tiny box.
Being a mother, being busy, like that's one of the biggest things. People say, well, I can't do it because X, Y, Z. And those are usually some of the biggest things. I'm a parent. I don't have time. I have a busy job, all these different things. Mm-hmm. How did you did you ever struggle with that? And then how did you overcome those challenges?
So I did struggle right when I had my first daughter. I was at the gym the day I gave birth. Like my whole pregnancy, I was working out, I was there. But the minute I laid eyes on her, I fell so deeply in love with her that I was like, I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to take that time away from her to do that. But in the retrospect, I bought like workout tapes. I did Insanity at home. She sat in her little chair and watched me. And then after I had my second daughter, she thought we were dancing. So she'd like do the moves too while I did it. And then when they went to preschool and I had that space of time where I didn't have them, then I incorporated the gym back into my life. And I was like, okay, this can be my time where I can get my head together and not be, mommy, I need this, mommy, I need that. I can take care of myself. And then I had a really big health scare a couple of years ago. So coming back from that, it just made me so grateful to be alive and be able to do it that I was like, I don't know if I don't necessarily have to discipline myself because I just love it so much. And I'm so grateful to get the chance to do it that I just do it. It's almost like, okay, it's a rest day, Kendra, don't work out. Like this is your rest day. Because if I could, I'd just work out all the time.
Yeah.
I know that's not typical, but
I think
I'm crazy and it's okay.
I think it is a struggle though, for people who are like highly motivated to take that time away.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do something on those non-workout days to kind of keep yourself feeling like you are doing something, or do you really just take it easy?
I kind of just go with the flow. There's some days if it's going to be 85 degrees outside, I have a cute little beach like 20 minutes from my house. I'm like, okay, girls, we're going beach day. And then there's some days if it's raining, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit on the couch today and I'm just not going to do anything. And that's okay. That's okay too. Like it doesn't always have to be active. You can rest. Those are few and far between, but I try to relax. Your body needs that just as much as the movement. It needs rest too.
Absolutely. Yep.
But those are a little harder. If I'm not working out and I know there's downtime, I just really kind of put my time into them, whether it's making bracelets or sometimes getting on their iPads and watching them play their games that I know absolutely nothing about. Sometimes it's just sitting there with them. I don't necessarily meditate. I'm big on positive affirmation. So I do have a book that I like to read and, get my mind in the right spot. But I probably should meditate more. And I've just started incorporating stretching in. I never, ever stretched. I'm like, I'm about to hit 40. So I'm like, okay, we need to bring that in because it's getting a little harder to move around.
How do you think you plan, or do you really plan, or does it just kind of come naturally? How do you plan to kind of be that positive role model for fitness, for your kids, continually down the road?
I think it's just leading by example. Every day they see me work out. Every day they see me cooking or being healthy or making smart choices. I always tell them, drink your water, drink your water, drink your water. It's so important. So I just think it comes naturally, like just being around me and seeing it. I don't necessarily go out of my way to think, oh, I need to show them. I just kind of do. And you can see it in their eyes because, there's other kids, they'll be like, oh, they just sit on their iPad. They don't go out. And I'm like, isn't that sad? Like, aren't you so happy that you get the opportunity to be able to go out and not have to sit down?
Right.
So just try to make them see both sides of it. I live in a really active area. There's always sports going on. I live in kind of like a farm town. So there's always farmers markets, or you can literally just drive down the street and go pick fresh fruit if you wanted. So I don't think it's more of a lifestyle where I am. And I'm in California. So it's just kind of natural. The weather's always nice. People are always out. They're always active. My girls did gymnastics for a really long time, and they just took like a year break off of it. And now they're at the point where they want to get into other sports. So I'll be venturing out and meeting all of those people and seeing their mindsets relatively soon.
It's a big entrance point for fitness. I talk to a lot of people who are in athletics, and they say that that's where they first started learning about being healthy and lifting weights and staying fit and all those kind of things. I think the good part about sports is that character building. It's the life lesson kind of thing, because it does translate so well into the rest of the world. I think that is what sports really are for. It's
right.
It's a practice for what life is like. Most times you lose. That's just the way life goes. But it's about, like you said, how you recover from that loss to move on and build yourself back up to potentially win the next time. But, now it's become more, like you said, scholarships and this, that, and the other. And how much money, are you willing to spend on traveling and doing all this other stuff? And, I think it's lost a lot of what it's really supposed to be helping kids with.
It's scary.
So you kind of mentioned the anxiety stuff and kind of the mental health around working out. Tell us a little bit about how lifting weights did help you with that side of things.
I feel like I have to burn the energy. Otherwise it turns negative in me. Looking back, I've always had anxiety, but I don't think I really understood it until I was in my 30s and the little ways it would manifest. And now I can see, oh, that was anxiety when I was 12 years old and freaking out about nothing. And my parents were like, go in your room and be quiet instead of dealing with it. So now I look at it as a positive thing. Okay, gym therapy is a real thing, right? People are in there battling their demons day in and day out, and they're doing it in a positive way. You could go to the bar and drink those demons away and maybe drive home drunk and hurt somebody. Or I can go to the gym and take it out on the weights and leave feeling better about myself and come home and cook a nutritious meal for my family. And then I end the day positively. I just try to keep it all in a positive aspect and a positive mindset. And the gym just kind of makes everything lead up to that, or just naturally come that way, because I did accomplish that. I did hit a new PR today. I'm so proud of myself. I'm going to come home and share that with my kids. It's a garage gym. So, right. So they probably saw me do it and saw me do my happy dance afterwards and celebrated with me. And that's fine. And that's good. So I figure, they see the good things, and then they see the failure when I went for it and I didn't get it. But then the next day they saw me go in and try again. So again, it's just all leading by example. It's a battle every day, but going in the gym helps me achieve it.
Yeah.
So if you find something that helps, do it.
Absolutely. What advice would you have for women, and maybe even for mothers specifically, who want to get healthy, who maybe, are thinking, I want to do it, but I don't have the time, or I want to do it, but I don't have the energy, or I want to, get healthy for my family? What advice would you have to help them get started and stay on track?
My advice would be that family and fitness do not have to be separate. Include your kids. If you go to the gym and your gym has a daycare, take them, get them in that environment, get them comfortable there. Let them see the people working on themselves every day. Let them be around that. Come home, cook with them, meal prep, teach them. This is this, this is this. This flavors go together. You want to eat protein because it does this for your body. Carbs are good because it burns the energy to make you work out. Like, teach them as you go. And they don't even know they're being taught. They're just having fun with their parent. That's my advice. Don't think it has to be separate. Go out and hike, go on a beach day, go to the amusement park, walk around. That counts too. Riding roller coasters burns calories. Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a good advice. It's a lifestyle. It's just how you choose
it really
to live.
is. I remember I had a friend ask me, I had gained 60 pounds with Aubrey in my second pregnancy, and I was eating healthy and losing all the weight. And she goes, well, when are you going to get off this diet? And I looked at her and I go, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. Like, I'm not ever going to get off of it. That's not the point. I'm going to live my life like this. And I think that made it her, like, I saw her brain like click, like, oh, wait a minute. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. You have to want it and you have to work for it every day. It's not easy, but you have to do it because you're not going to get any results with the work you don't put in. Mindset, body, home life. You have to work at it all. Nothing's free in life.
Appreciate you coming on here and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.